All right, welcome everybody. Doug here with the LincolnList.com. This is the stock market weekly review for the 28th of September. We just have a few days left in this month, which has been a very interesting month, carrying over some of the theme, some of the volatility, some of the indecision and doubt that's carried from August right into September. And for some of you, you're seeing something you haven't seen before. Some of you newer traders, a lot of people came into this game just a couple of years ago from like 2012, 2013, and all you've ever really experienced was buy the dip, bullish market. And now you're seeing a change in that, or you're seeing some indecision, and this is what's going to separate the winners from the losers. Because if you want to sustain success in your career, man, you're going to have to deal with this kind of stuff. Because most of the time that you're going to go, your career spans 15 to 20 years, you're not going to get big bullish cycles all the time. You're going to have to deal with these long periods of indecision, these tight areas of consolidation, this fear, dumps, flash crashes, crashes in general, crises. You got to deal with all of this stuff. And that's what makes you a trader. So, look, I got off on a little rant there, but if you're trying to be successful at this game, and you want to sustain success. There's a difference between being successful, and then sustaining that success. It's kind of like they say, it's easy to get there, but it's harder to stay there. And that's the way it is with trading. It's easy to learn how to trade. It's easy to pull off a couple of great trades and get on a hot streak, but it's hard to stay consistently profitable over a long span of time. What's my point? If that's what you want to be, and you're trying to make this a career, don't rest on your morals. Visit the LincolnList.com. If you're struggling, visit the LincolnList.com. See our live educational format. Connect with traders inside of a community that can help get you to the right kind of level and keep you consistent and keep you on track and increase your income. 14-day free trial, LincolnList.com. Rant over. Let's talk a little bit about some of the stocks that might be in play and what we're going to expect with the market. Now, the market itself, from outside glance, isn't too bad. We had a couple of red days, but it sort of held itself up pretty good. Overall, I'd say pretty good. You had a nice little sell-off. We're going to get talking about that sell-off late on Friday here in just a minute. You got a couple of levels. One that you really want to pay attention to is this 190. After this big old flash dump here, you got this low of 182. The last few sessions from the very beginning parts of September, on the first day of September, it held this area. On the 3rd of September, then you bounce and you're back here towards the end of the month. So it's important that we hold this 190 as far as a technical level. It's not really important to me. I could care less if this thing dumps or not. I mean, that's the part about being a trader. If you're a trader, you're not holding biases. You're just trading what the tape is going to give you, right? It's when you start forcing biases or hoping for things, that's when crap goes wrong for you as a trader. If you're hoping, you're in the wrong sector. You got to get out of that. So back to business. 190 is important if you're bullish or your theme is bullish or you're thinking about bullish. If we start breaking under 190, yeah, we're probably going to come back down here to 185s or somewhere 182s. We'll see what happens. The bigger story in this was, with Hillary coming out with a tweet about biotechs, these things got butchered. I mean, this was hell week for bios. Again, going back to my theme that I talked about at the beginning of this video, why I gave you the rant is because it wasn't so long ago bios was like, quote, the sure thing, right? It was like safe money to be put in bios. And unless you had been around for a while, you don't know how sketchy some of these biotech stocks can be. And they just seem so easy, right? 3 or 4 years, investors making bank, traders making banks. Hot stuff was biotechs. Even when the market was going down, biotechs were going up. This, though, was a massive shot in right in there. Not a massive shot, it's like right in the kisser for these bios. It has been merciless. I mean, this has been a mass exodus of liquidation here. You're 361, and a few days later, you're all the way down here on the IBB index to 303. And that doesn't tell the whole story because there are tons and tons of bios that are getting smoked. And I mean, it seems maybe now on the outside at close of business on Friday that there's some bargains, right? There are some bargains. But there's a difference between a bargain and an all-out onslaught. When you're looking at dip buying stocks, let's say you're an investor, if you're looking for dip buying stocks, you got to wait. You can't just go into a price and say, hey, it's down 5 days in a row, it's going to bounce. That's not always the case, man. You got to wait for some area for people to stop selling. You got to get some consolidation, some sideways trading. Day traders, you know this, intraday, you just can't be buying dips and shorting rips. You know, maybe that you get away with that, but you're going to get burned on a few occasions. It's going to hurt. You got to find areas where you've got some basing. And when you look at the intraday chart, especially on Friday here, I mean, there was very little basing in this chart. It's just sell off, 10 minutes of holding, a little small spike, a couple more hours of selling, a few green bars, a few more hours of selling. It just never gets any traction. So if you're looking to long, just off the side here, you got to get some basing. So I'm going to take a look at a few of these. I think first leading this would have to be blue. This thing has just taken more hit than maybe there's another one out there I don't see right now. But certainly the stock, you know, starts the week out pushing 143, and you're closing the week at 100. So this is a serious sell down here. Again, if you're looking to pick these up, day traders, it's different. If you're investing, that's different. But if you're going to swing this, invest in this, you need to get a sideways point, a point or a pivot where you can manage and control your risk. Same way with intraday trading. You got a lot of flushing here. The thing I would be looking for is you're going deep into certain levels that's going way past 6-7 months. These things are under some significant moving averages. You know, the only thing for me is for now would be day trading these only. Just day trading on the momentum, looking for intraday pivots. If these were to gap up, let's say we're Monday, and it's going to be the theme with every biotech that I show. If you begin if the market gaps up, IBB gaps up, and that's the first thing that you see Monday, I don't think it's the right decision. Maybe maybe it works, but I don't think it's the right decision for you just to run in there and buy some biotech, because just one bounce after this kind of merciless death drop is not something that you can trust. So do yourself a favor, and you might want to just kind of sit that one out. If you're not already in it, that's probably not going to be the time, because I can probably assure you that these bounces are going to be taken with a grain of salt. They're going to need to be tested a few times, because what you have with these intraday charts is they won't stop making new lows. Like I showed you, go down, you stop, you look like a pivot. People get in on this pivot here at blue right here. I'll show you. You'll get in on this pivot. That's fine. You're a day trader. There's nothing wrong with that. You get a little green bar, you buy it, you use a stop. Use a stop. It's fine. That's a great trade. But you don't get a bounce. But you have to take the stop, because the thing just rolls over again. You get another green bar. Traders buy into that. People buy into that. They think that's the bottom. Disappointed again. You know, and after about the third time, nobody cares, and it just keeps going down. You can see it never really put but 2 to 3 bars together. So these things are in a serious mess, and I'm not so sure that we're going to see. I doubt we see a sustained rally. Let's put it that way. If they rip, these things bounce, they're probably shorts right out of the open. What you really need here in this situation to get a bounce started is probably a gap down and absolute panic. You know, when you look back at the market itself, let me go back to the SPYs chart and show you what I'm talking about. When you had that panic day, we're going back to, give us junky chart, here we go. Back here on the 24th, we really had that big washout. That's the panic that shook everyone. You know, that's where you get that big panic. It shakes everyone. Then you get those knee-jerk reactions, snap bounces. The difference between us is we're seeing in stocks like blue is it looks rough on the daily, but the intraday internals of these stocks, they're not flushing. They're just bleeding out. They're grinding down, and that's a big difference. It's a big difference in the way they act. So keep an eye here on blue. Also, something you might want to keep here is HRTX, and I think all of these are the same. If we begin the days flushing out deep, and I'm saying, let's say like a HRTX, for example, it opens up $6 in the whole Monday, SPY's down 300, IBB's down 10 points. I'd be looking to buy some of these for bounces only. You know, maybe something you can get down in here into this 2820 level, you know, maybe down to some of these supports. But those would just be for quick bounces. And if you wake up and it's completely different and these things gap up, I'd be looking to short some of these. If they were up $3 or $4, I'd be looking to short probably the first 1 or 2 pivots, because I would not trust them. Maybe that comes back to haunt me, but I'll take my chances, because I can't see these things sustaining bounces, because people are caught and they're going to sell on every rip. So that's 2 different variables. Now, if we open up flat, I don't have any answers for you. I'm just kidding. We'll have to kind of take it day by day. But you got a couple of names here. There's going to be plays. I guess what I'm trying to say in the easiest way, there's going to be plays. Far be it from me to try to sit here and tell you the bottom is in or when these things are going to bounce. I can't can't predict the future, and traders, we really don't do that. I mean, in a way you try to, but your thoughts about being a trader, what you're trying to accomplish, is you're learning setups. You're learning setups, and you're waiting until a certain stock provides you with that setup. If you don't get it, you don't trade it. If you want it to be a long, you say, hey, I hope the stock breaks out. I want it to be a long, and you got this long setup. If it never happens, you don't take it. You don't buy it just because you feel it's going to be long. It has to have a certain setup. So I'm really waiting for setups. You got this, you got blue, you got HRTX, and I'll tell you, ESPR is probably in worse trouble as well. It's broken down here on the daily. This thing could go all the way down into the 30s, so one to watch here. Now, a couple of other stocks. One here is, let's just go with Netflix. It was trying, and I think, what you had to going late in the session. Let me type this Netflix in. What you had going late into the session on Friday was this thing was trying to break out. Like it had a really, really great setup. We actually longed a little bit, and then we eventually got stopped out. It had a really good setup. This thing looked good. Like it wanted to start spiking back up. The SPY was holding strong. I mean, but that's what happens. You got that big biotech sector was just killing. Healthcare is just killing the market, and we were all just sitting there. And this is what helps you from being in a chat room. It helps being in one. Is we're all just sitting there talking in a trade room. Like, look, if this IBB doesn't stop going down, then the SPY is just eventually going to succumb to the pressure. That's just the way it's going to be. There's just too much selling across the board. Everything's going to take a hit. And then finally you see late in the day, everything just rolled over. It's just like snap. Everybody just gave up. Don't want to hold anything over the weekend. So if there is a decent long, this one looks pretty good. You got a couple of pivots up here towards 106s. Up here in this 104s. Kind of interested if it will build. But I'm just throwing that out there as a wild card because, again, I got to keep repeating myself here. I got to see what happens Monday. I mean, there's different variables that may take place here. We could see a whole different kind of things happen over the course of the weekend. We've got biotechs on a big skid, and right now, as I'm doing this, which could change in any minute, of course, I can't see a pivot. I mean, these things yet to flush everyone out because it's been a different kind of selling. It's been a consistent, methodical, grind down selling. The kind you're looking to bounce a lot is the panic selling. We haven't really got that. We might need to shake these down a little bit more before we get that bounce. So maybe that's something that we'll get Tuesday or Wednesday. But we want to have plans for all kinds of markets. We want to have plans for the market gaps, the market craps, or the market doesn't do anything. We want to have those plans set forth. So I got a couple of great, I think these biotech could be good next week. They're definitely going to give you some plays. You're either going to have some great shorts off of these things or some hella bounces. And I imagine sometime during the course of next week, we're going to see that bounce. It's going to come in there. What day, what time? I can't tell you. Nobody can be able to tell you that. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be there. But you've got to be patient. You've got to wait for it. I hope all this helped you. There's a few stocks to get your week started. As always, you guys need help. You don't even have to be a member. If you just got some questions in your mind, you got some stuff you want to discuss about trading, that's what I'm here to do is help. Send me an email, service@thelincolnlist.com. If you're looking to accelerate your game, you want to go to another level with this whole deal, you want to be consistent, you want to take out the drama, you don't want to lose sleep at night, you don't want to have stomach aches. If that's the kind of trader you are, you've got to get away from that because we're not adrenaline junkies. Traders are not adrenaline junkies. There's specific setups, there's specific reasons, and you need to be patient with this thing. If you need some help, visit me at thelincolnlist.com. Take a 14-day free trial. It's completely free. Of course, that's self-explanatory in a free trial. But anyway, take care of yourself. Have a great week. Finish off September nice. Take care. Thanks for watching this video. Talk to you soon.